Hey, this is a simple guide about battling in Pokemon. I'm not going to go down into the more competitive vision of battling. First, let us see what Pokemon really is. Pokemon's short form of Pocket Monsters is a fictional world where mythical-like creatures live side by side with humans. Some use them to work, while others battles against each other, but they also just hang out together sometimes. Pokemons come in every shape and color. When a Pokemon battle, they have a type, 4 moves, abilities, stats, and natures. A Pokemon's type says something about what you should use it for. For example, if your enemy uses a Poison-type Pokemon, you could use a Pokemon that has a Ground or Psychic-type move, which is super effective. While if you used a Grass-type move, it would do half the damage instead of double the damage. The Ground-type move had done also. It would be more ideal if you used a Water-type for Surfing or Flying-type for your guest Flying. Also, sometimes instead of doing double damage to another type, it would do half or nothing at all. For example, if a normal type attacks a rock type, the rock type would take half the damage as if it was a grass type the normal type attacked. But if the normal type attacked a ghost type, it would do nothing at all. Now you should understand a little bit about how type charts work. Let's dive into the moves. A Pokemon have a move pool. If we now said we look at Pikachu, you would see it have 2 different move pools. One for the moves it learned while leveling up, while the other one is the moves you teaches it with use of technical machines, which is many items that contains a different move each and get used on a Pokemon. You should know, just because you have the technical machine for Surf doesn't mean all your Pokemon can have that move. Your Pokemon can only have it if the move is in the move pool of technical machines. Every move has some data. If we look at the move, Voltage is an electric type. It's under the category of special, which means that the opened Pokemon takes damage after how high its special defense stat is. That we'll look closer into later. If we now said it was Pikachu who used an electric type move, who used the move Voltage on a Wailmer who is a water type, it would firstly look at the attacker's special attack and see how strong the move would be, and after it would take the multipliers of super effectiveness and step, which would get it onto a multiplier of 2.5, because Pikachu is the same type as the move it uses. The move does 50% more damage. Also, Voltage is one of the moves that have a secondary effect, which it does in this case that the Pokemon who uses it switches out to one of your other Pokemon and at the same time does some damage to the opposite Pokemon. And the move also goes down one of its PP, which is what indicates how many times you could use that move. The stronger, the fewer PPs your move have. When your Pokemon doesn't have any PPs left, it will use the move Struggle, which damages your opponent, but also the user itself. If we said before the Pikachu had used the move Volt Switch, it had used the move Calm Mind, which is a move that boosts your special attack 1 step and your special defense by 1. You can raise your stat up to 6 times. Every time it raises by 1 step, the multiplier goes up by 0.5. So if we said Pikachu used the move Calm Mind 6 times and used Volt Switch onto Wailmer, the multiplier would be 5.5. And when Pikachu gets switched out by Volt Switch, it loses his or her stat boost. It's important to know every time your Pokemon have boosted its stats, if it gets switched out or knocked out, it loses all its boosts. If we said Wailmer had a higher speed stat than Pikachu, it would attack first, but because Pikachu also has raised its special defense stat by 1 or more, its defense would be better and therefore the attack would do less damage to your Pikachu. Also, you need to keep an eye out to see if the other Pokemon is faster and maybe kill your Pokemon in one hit. If it does that, maybe you shouldn't use a status move or boosting move. There are also two other multipliers. The first is weather boost. Fix if it's raining. Water type attacks would get a boost, while fire type moves would do less damage. Then there's critical hits. A critical hit has 1 in 255 chance of happening, but can get boosted both by friendship and some move just has a better chance. If we said it was just a normal move without any multipliers, then if it hit a critical hit, it would roughly do twice as much. You should note that some moves give status conditions like sleep, poison, burn, paralyze, freeze, and many more. These are the major 5. All of them each have a bad thing to do for your or your opponent's Pokemon. The first of the 5 is sleep. Some of the moves that can give this condition are sleep powder and rest. When a Pokemon is asleep, they cannot move and have to wait to wake up. Their sleep is ranging from 1 to 3 turns. You can use the item called Awakening to awake it. The second is poison. It can be caused by moves like Toxic Spikes and Twin Needle. When a Pokemon is poisoned, it will lose 1/8 of its HP per turn. You should note that poison and steel types can't just be poison. You can cure poison with an antidote. The third is burn. It halves the target's Pokemon's physical attacks in half and also does 1/8 damage per turn. Thus, there are some Pokemon who can only take half when they have the ability Heat Growth. It will dive in more to abilities later. Some of the moves that can give the burn status are Will-O-Wisps and Fire Fang. You can cure it with a burn heal. Fourth is Paralyze. It takes 50% of your Pokemon's speed and has a 25% chance that your Pokemon is fully paralyzed. When that happens, your Pokemon can't move. Some of the moves inflicting the status are Thunder Wave, Lick, and Nuzzle, and you can cure it with a Paralyze heal. The fifth and last is Freeze. It does the thing that the affected Pokemon can't move. You can't get Freeze while the sun is up. Some of the moves affecting Freeze. The thing I tried to say is some of the moves that give the status condition Freeze is Freeze Dry and Blizzard. You can heal the Freeze with an Ice Heal. Now we'll take a look at stats and level. A Pokemon is a level between 1 and 100. Take a look at Pikachu's stat. You can see every Pokemon has HP stat that control how much life it has. You should know after Pokemon has reached 0 HP, it gets out of battle until you heal it at a Pokemon Center. Attack stat. You also have an attack stat that control how much of your physical attacks do. You have a defense stat that control how much damage you take from those physical hits that the attack stat controls. You have a special attack that controls how much your special moves do. You have a special defense that take into how much damage you take from those special moves. And the last you have is speed. The speed control who of the two Pokemons that attack first. The Pokemon with the highest speed attack the other Pokemon before the other Pokemon attack yours. And up next we're going to take a look at IVs and EVs. Every Pokemon have both individual values and effort values, or IVs and EVs. Individual values or IVs are determined when the Pokemon is caught or hatched. It's not the most important thing if you just want to battle, but if you really want to battle for prizes, you need to hunt for the perfect IVs. Your IVs go from 1 to 31 in all of the different categories of your Pokemon stats. EVs, or effort values, are points that give extra to a base that the way you get them is by knocking out other Pokemon in the wild. You can have up to 510 EVs on a Pokemon. Every stat reaches from 0 to 252, all after which Pokemon you defeat. Fix Venusaur gives you 2 points in special attack and 1 in special defense. You can use Smogon to help build your Pokemon moves and EVs to be built for the more competitive side, or also including nature's abilities and items, which we're going to look at now. First, we take a look at natures. Natures is another stack factor. Natures boost one stat and decreases another. Fixed element which boost attack and decreases special attack. There are 4 natures that boost attack, 4 that boost special attack, 4 that boost defense, 4 for special defense, and 4 that doesn't boost or decrease any stat. They are called neutral natures. You can change natures using a mint, which gives the Pokemon the nature you desire. Next up is abilities. Abilities is a thing every Pokemon has. It's a thing that really can do a Pokemon great for battle or bad for battle. There is too many to go over now, so that you can look up yourself. I'm going to tell you about 2 different abilities, Truant and Poison Point. First we look at Truant. Truant is an ability that only let the Pokemon move every second turn. It is more a bad than great ability. Next is Poison Point. It's an ability that may poison your enemy on contact. Contact happens more on physical moves than special moves. Remember, there is a lot more abilities your Pokemon can have. Next up is items. But first we take a look at hidden abilities. Hidden abilities are abilities you can only get in certain ways, mostly online events. For example, Pikachu, who has the special ability Lightning Rod, which does so whenever Pikachu is hit by an electric attack, it absorbs lives and then is dead. It does. And now we can actually look at the items. Like the abilities, there are too many to cover here, so I'm just going to tell you about 4 items. Your Pokemon can only hold 1 item. First you need to know that items fix give your Pokemon a boost or heal them. The first of the 4 items I'm going to tell you about is the Choice Band. The Choice Band simply boosts your attack and makes you so you can only use 1 move. Next up is the Life Orb. It boosts the power of the user's moves and lose a small amount of HP every time your Pokemon attack. Next item is a Leftover. The Leftover heals your Pokemon a little each turn. And last and finally is the Citrus Berry. The Citrus Berry can heal a small amount of HP on your Pokemon. The Citrus Berry is one time use, where the others can be used multiple times. Now I'm going to show you a little video or clip about some things I've told you, and that after that this is over.